The way I work is I pull myself away back from the world. I lived a lot in the world, and now it's my monastic period. My best friends are my books. My best friends are probably dead authors and composers and dead painters. A couple living composers, a couple living painters. But when you pull yourself back and live in just doing music and literature, it becomes for you your world you walk in and you live in. And so then I like the slowness of things.
You're cooking sometimes?
No, I don't cook.
No?
No, never could. Because I do bodybuilding for a hobby, I have what people would call an eating disorder, but for me it's not an eating disorder.
Eating disorder.
Yeah, because I think everything people call it disorders for me are orders. Like if I have an obsessive compulsive disorder, I have an obsessive compulsive order. When I read, I like to read large works so that they almost never end, so I can live with them. I just read a wonderful book, a novel. It's a classical Chinese literature called The Dream of the Red Chamber by Cao Shi-qin. It's 5 volumes. And I tried just to read 1 page a day or 2 pages a day so it would last longer, because I never wanted to leave this family in the 18th century in China. Where I felt so at home with them. Like Proust, when I read À la recherche du temps perdu, it took me 10 years to read that, because I never wanted to end. So every night, because I read many books at the same time, I just don't read Proust for 10 years. I'm reading a lot of other things too. But with Proust, I wanted it to last and last. See, I wanted to be, when I was young, I came to music by way of opera. I misunderstood myself a big time, because I thought I liked music because it heightened words. When in reality, I really love the words as much as the music, and sometimes even more than the music. Because as we know in many operas, there's places where you want to fast forward. The early Verdi who wants to. There's not enough pretty spots, one right after the other.
Little spots.
So I thought I wanted to be an opera conductor one day. So I always accompanied singers, which helped my piano playing. So it wasn't for nothing in the long run. And then I made my debut as a conductor. Menotti invited me to Spoleto to conduct his St. and Bleecker Street for his 75th birthday, and then I got engaged with Hamburg Staatsoper by Rundfunk Orchestra all around the world. And then I just didn't want to do it anymore, because I like to be alone, and the literature became more of a factor in my life. Writing, I needed more time for that. There's no way I could conduct and play the piano and write, and it would have any degree of mastery after a while. So you have to make choices, and I don't have the patience to rehearse with orchestras. I don't, and I'm also my skin is much too thin. I'm much too. To be a conductor, you also have to have a personality of steel. It's just like you have to be a politician or a dictator, and you have to know that there are people that hate you, and you have to work with people who hate you or who don't like the way you make music, and they do it. They can do that. A good conductor can do that. I can't do that.
Did you learn very quick?
I could always read well, sight read very well, because it comes from when you're young and you love opera. You're reading through scores all the time. So I was always playing that as a kid, and singing. I would sing. Sing that and play. One time while they were rehearsing, while they had evening worship service, I had started to play La Traviata up in the choir room, because I didn't think anyone could hear me. Well, they came and got me. They said, we can't start the evening worship service because everyone's hearing you sing Violetta up in the choir room. and so playing all these opera scores, that's how I could learn to sight read really well. My reputation was built on Prokofiev thirds and Bartok seconds and Tchaikovsky's and Rachmaninoff and Brahms Paganini variations and Liszt, everything from Liszt. That was my school. But I realized what I really love is just like what I love in painting. In classical painting, the earlier the better. So I like Quattrocento, Cinquecento, Italian painting, because just simple lines that aren't simple, but very just chiseled, direct lines. And that's why I love this early music, like Rameau or Bach. So what I love about this piece is it gives you there's such a richness going on, a variety. I love variety. I need variety in life and in music all the time, you know. 30 courses to eat.
30 courses.
It's like 30 courses to eat, and you really should just pick out. Here's another favorite place. Hear that? At the end of that frame. That's heartbreaking. My heart breaks there.
It's going on in nature.
I eat 6 days a week, very strict diet. 6 meals a day, a lot of rice, a lot of red meat, no fat, low fat, not too much carbs. But then 1 day a week, anything. And when I can eat anything, then it's fried chicken, Backhändel, cheeseburgers with lots of mayonnaise, and French fries, and Wiener Schnitzel, and lobster, and pizza, those things,
So why
chocolate.
Why you also come to Vienna? I mean, you
Cake.
in Florida.
Cake.
Because of cake?
Because of cake.
Okay.
Vienna, no city in the world has cake like Vienna. When I play, I'm obsessed with phrasing.
Yeah.
For me, that's the most important thing in music making, is the phrase.
Yeah.
So we say... I don't play every chord the same.
You did the same on the recording, no?
Yeah, on the Tchaikovsky recording, it was the same thing. And the strings don't play. That's so meaningless.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have people who talk like this when they talk like this? They don't say every word the same.
Yeah.
So we play. Phrase. Yeah. So we took it phrase by phrase by phrase, telling them to which note to go to, and where to make more of a crescendo, where to make more of a decrescendo. Because phrasing is just a matter of looking at a score, defining where the phrase begins and where it ends, and living, just caring for that phrase in the moment. And I will pick from this first phrase. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's say 8 possibilities of a note to go to.
Yeah.
So every note, I want every note to have a different color. And what is color in music? It means a dynamic difference. Colors are dynamics. I'm also inspired for playing really pianissimo or piano music from Caballé. Montserrat Caballé is, for me, the greatest singer of the 20th century, male or female. That's my personal opinion. I am a real die-hard Caballé fan, because she phrases everything. I don't even have to name her or think of her singing this, because once you've been taught by someone, by listening to her so often, it's in you for life. Then I'm impregnated by Caballé for life.
What is Tzimon Barto doing in Florida? Going up late, early in the morning?
Well, see, I vowed, when I left that place at 18, I said, I'm never coming back here. You know, I ran away to France when I was 17. And then when I met my second wife in Berlin, and we were looking for a place to raise our family, and she found this beautiful property for a very cheap price of many acres, a ranch, you know, like a horse farm, in the middle of Florida. And because of the airport in Orlando, I could fly anywhere directly and be there very quickly. And so I said, why not? So I moved back to Florida. I think what makes that my house is two things. My son's buried on the back property, my 17-year-old boy when he died. So that when I'm in that house, I feel like he's still there. So I feel close to him by being there. And also because my bibliothèque is there. Because I love my books, as you know. So here I don't have any books. It's so empty for me without books. And in Florida, it's all book, wall to wall. I have a library ladder even to get up to the shelves. I love my books. So the daily life is the same. It's been the same for the past 25 years and will stay the same. So I get up, go to the gym for half an hour, 45 minutes. Then I'll play for about 2 hours. Then I'll study my Chinese for 2 hours. And then I'll write for the rest of the day. And then at the end of the day, my reward is to read. And then I go to bed.
It's very structured.
Very structured. It's always the same. Always the same.
Last time we talked about there should be some waves in some compositions that really touches you.
Oh yeah, our favorite spots.
Favorite
the ones
spots.
You fast forward to.
Yeah.
Oh,
your
God.
favorite spots. What are your favorite spots? I forgot it the last time we talked.
Oh God, there's so many.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you in the Mateus when it goes. This one. Here's the spot. That's it. The way the oboe crosses, I can't even approximate it on the piano because part of the favorite spottedness of it is having the oboe cross the strings there. That makes like a cross figuration. Oh, it's gorgeous. Or I have a favorite spot in Frühlingstraum at the beginning. Really good. There. I mean, how I cannot play. I just can't do it. It's a different harmony, so I have to play. It's just the way I'm built. A musical feeling is not a realistic feeling. I feel at this harmony change that it should be less, because for me that gives it. I feel that way musically. That you go. Instead of now, there are some who would say, I want the phrase to go to the middle. Fine, do what you want. It's also convincing. For me, for my idiosyncratic way of feeling music, I want this to have a certain kind of sadness about it. And it has that if I go away from the middle of the phrase, actually. But I think the older I get, when I listen to myself as a young pianist, I find there's not much of interest. I find there's a great facility for the piano playing. I mean, I can do things then that I can't do now, technically. The Liszt 6 Hungarian Rhapsody, I could play the octaves faster than Horowitz. I mean, but that's just a physical, genetic accomplishment. It has nothing to do with head or heart. And I notice the older I get, after you've had two dead sons, if you have two sons that have died, after you've had, let's say a drug addiction you overcome, after you've experienced many things that many people do not experience all in a lifetime, the older you get, it tenderizes your music.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting because I think that it really changes a lot from the beginning of the young years and you get older and you have another feeling or get another feeling of
and this is why I wanted to come back to musical feelings. When I say they're not the same as realistic feelings, you can't have deep musical feelings without having had the realistic counterparts. If you've experienced a lot of pain in your life, then objectively that becomes, if you're a musician, it goes into your music. And your music, the first thing you notice, the change that happens is you breathe more.
But talking a bit your writings or your books, I mean, how came that you started writing? You're writing since you were a young boy? Or?
No, let's not talk about the writing. That takes too long. That will be it. They'll have to listen for 2 hours if we talk about writing.
Okay, then
there I really have to split the.
Then we cut the writing.
Yeah, we're not selling a book.
So just some last questions. I mean, where do you see Tzimon Barto in the next 20 years? I mean, do you have any big plans or just...
Yes, the stealing. That's the literary project. I'm so glad you asked about it. No, I have a big literary project I've been working on for a long time, and I want to be able to complete that. See, what's very funny is if people hear this piece, they love it.
Okay.
They love it.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not love it? Look, I think, do you have Hawthorne in here? No, you don't have Hawthorne. You don't have the second movement.
Just
You know, the second movement, you know, in the middle. It's interesting color. Like in the Goldbergs, you know, with this. Play that like a music box. That has to be a music box. So it slows down and slows down at the end. Where was that? Remember? After you prove to people that you can play a phrase, what a phrase is, then it's charming if one of the last variations, instead of I play music box. So at the end there's zero. You know, music boxes slow down. Then there's always like the last, you think it's dead, but no. Are you?